Chris Evans, the actor who played Captain America across multiple films and became the moral center of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for over a decade, has reportedly quit Marvel entirely after Disney attempted to drastically slash his salary for future appearances. According to multiple sources close to the negotiations, Evans didn't just decline Disney's lowball offer, he allegedly told his representatives he's done with Marvel completely, that he won't be coming back under any circumstances, and that Disney's attempt to underpay him after everything he contributed to building the MCU into a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut proves the studio has zero loyalty to the talent that made their success possible. This is absolutely catastrophic for Marvel and Disney on multiple levels. First, Chris Evans is Captain America in the minds of millions of fans worldwide, and his portrayal of Steve Rogers defined what heroism looks like in the MCU. Losing Evans permanently means losing access to one of the franchise's most beloved and iconic characters for any future projects. Second, Evans has been one of Marvel's most professional and reliable actors, someone who fulfilled every obligation and promoted projects enthusiastically despite his own ambivalence about fame and acting. If someone this dependable is walking away disgusted by Disney's treatment, it sends a devastating message about how the studio values the people who built their empire. Third, this continues an alarming pattern of major MCU talent leaving the franchise angry and disillusioned, suggesting systemic problems with how Disney treats actors once their initial contracts expire. Let's break down what allegedly happened in the negotiations between Evans and Disney, why Evans reached his breaking point and decided to quit entirely, what this means for Captain America's future in the MCU, and what this reveals about Disney's approach to talent management that's driving away the very people who made Marvel successful. Chris Evans' relationship with Captain America and Marvel has always been complicated. When he was first offered the role in 2010, Evans was reluctant to commit to the multi-film contract Marvel required, worried about losing his privacy and creative freedom. He initially turned down the role before ultimately accepting after encouragement from friends, family, and Robert Downey Jr. Evans has been candid over the years about his anxiety regarding fame, about the challenges of being so closely identified with one character, and about his desire to move beyond superhero films to do smaller, more personal projects. But despite his personal reservations, Evans delivered one of the most iconic performances in superhero cinema history. His Steve Rogers embodied decency, courage, moral clarity, and selflessness in ways that made Captain America the heart and conscience of the Avengers. Evans' performance elevated what could have been a one-dimensional patriotic character into someone genuinely heroic and inspiring. From Captain America, the first Avenger, through Avengers, Endgame, Evans gave Marvel 11 years of committed professional work that was essential to the MCU's success. Evans' contract with Marvel officially ended with Avengers Endgame in 2019, where Steve Rogers passed his shield to Sam Wilson and retired to live out his life with Peggy Carter. This ending was designed to give Evans a graceful exit from the franchise, allowing him to fulfill his contract while giving Steve Rogers narrative closure. Evans publicly stated he was done playing Captain America, that Endgame was his farewell, and that he was ready to move on to other projects. But in the years since Endgame, Disney has repeatedly approached Evans about returning to the MCU in some capacity. According to sources, Disney wanted Evans for potential multiverse storylines, for cameo appearances in other characters' films, for Disney Plus series, and for the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars films. Evans was initially open to brief returns if the story justified it and if the compensation was appropriate for someone of his stature and importance to the franchise. According to insiders familiar with the negotiations, Disney's initial offers to Evans for future MCU appearances were shockingly low, reportedly in the range of $5 to $10 million for appearances in major Avengers films, with even lower offers for cameos or Disney Plus work. For context, this is substantially less than what Evans made for his final Avengers films, where his salary was reportedly in the $20 million range, including back-end participation. Disney's apparent logic was that since Evans had already made substantial money from Marvel, and since he'd publicly said he was done with Captain America, he should be grateful for any opportunity to return and shouldn't expect top-tier compensation. According to sources, Disney executives apparently believed that Evans would accept reduced pay out of loyalty to the character and franchise, that nostalgia and fan pressure would motivate him to return regardless of salary, and that Marvel's brand was valuable enough that actors should accept less money for the privilege of being involved. This calculation was spectacularly wrong. According to people close to Evans, the actor was insulted by Disney's offers and by the implication that his decade of service to Marvel somehow obligated him to continue working for below-market rates. Evans reportedly felt that if Disney wanted him to return after he'd already completed his contract and retired the character, they should be offering premium compensation that reflected both his market value as a major star and the unique value he brings as the definitive Captain America. Evans's representatives allegedly countered Disney's initial offers with requests for compensation comparable to what Robert Downey Jr. commanded at the peak of his MCU run, approximately $40 to $50 million per film with significant back-end participation. They argued that Evans's Captain America was just as essential to the MCU's success as RDJ's Iron Man, that bringing Evans back would be a major selling point for any film he appeared in, and that his compensation should reflect the immense value he'd bring. Disney reportedly rejected these counteroffers as unreasonable and excessive, arguing that Evans wasn't the lead of new films and therefore shouldn't expect lead actor compensation. According to sources, Disney offered to slightly increase their original offer, but maintained that $15 to $20 million was their absolute ceiling for Evans's participation. According to sources who've spoken with Evans or his representatives, the final straw came when Disney executives allegedly suggested that Evans should consider the career benefits and fan goodwill of returning to Marvel as part of his compensation, implying that the non-monetary value of appearing in MCU films should factor into his decision to accept below-market pay. This condescending suggestion, that Evans needed Marvel more than Marvel needed him, apparently infuriated the actor. Evans reportedly told his team that he's done negotiating with Disney, that he won't be returning to Marvel under any circumstances, and that the studio's approach to these negotiations proved they don't actually value the actors who built the franchise. According to people who've heard about Evans's response, he said something along the lines of, "I gave them 11 years and helped build a multi-billion-dollar franchise. If their response to asking me to come back is trying to pay me a fraction of what I'm worth while suggesting I should be grateful for the opportunity, then I'm done with it. They can find someone else." Evans allegedly continued, "This isn't about the money specifically, it's about respect. If they valued what I contributed, they'd make a real offer that reflects that. Instead, they're treating me like I'm desperate to come back and should accept whatever scraps they're willing to offer. That's not a partnership, that's exploitation." According to sources, Evans has instructed his representatives to decline all future Marvel offers regardless of terms, that he's not interested in negotiating further, and that he considers his time with the franchise completely finished. He reportedly feels that Disney's behavior in these negotiations revealed how little they actually care about the talent that made Marvel successful, and that continuing to work with them would be accepting disrespect he doesn't need to tolerate. Evans's reported permanent exit from Marvel creates massive problems for Disney's MCU plans. Captain America is one of the franchise's most iconic and beloved characters, and Steve Rogers specifically is inseparable from Chris Evans's portrayal in fans' minds. While Sam Wilson has taken up the Captain America mantle in the MCU, there are storylines and multiverse possibilities that would benefit enormously from having Evans's Steve Rogers available. The upcoming Avengers films particularly would have been enhanced by Evans's participation. Bringing back the original Avengers for one final adventure, having Steve Rogers interact with the multiverse chaos, or featuring Evans in key emotional moments would have been powerful draws for fans. Without Evans, Marvel loses access to these storytelling possibilities and to the nostalgia and fan enthusiasm his return would generate. Disney could theoretically recast Steve Rogers with another actor for multiverse variants or for stories set during his retirement, but this would be extraordinarily risky. Evans's performance is so definitive that another actor playing the character would face inevitable unfavorable comparisons. The backlash from fans against recasting Steve Rogers would likely be severe enough that Disney probably won't attempt it. This means that one of Marvel's most valuable characters is essentially retired from the franchise not because of creative decisions or story considerations, but because Disney was too cheap and too disrespectful to retain the actor who made the character iconic. It's a completely self-inflicted wound that damages Marvel's storytelling possibilities and their ability to capitalize on fan nostalgia. Evans's exit also damages Disney's reputation with talent across Hollywood. When word spreads that Disney tried to lowball Captain America himself and drove him away permanently through disrespectful negotiations, it sends a message to other actors that Disney doesn't value loyalty or past contributions once your initial contract expires. Why would major actors commit to multi-film Marvel contracts if this is how Disney treats people after they've fulfilled their obligations? Evans's reported exit is part of a broader and deeply troubling pattern of Disney driving away MCU talent through poor compensation, creative disrespect, and management decisions that prioritize short-term cost savings over long-term franchise health. Scarlett Johansson sued Disney over Black Widow compensation and settled, but left the franchise. Robert Downey Jr. got out at the peak and has shown no interest in returning as Iron Man, despite enormous fan demand. Multiple actors have quietly declined to renew or extend their Marvel contracts when given the opportunity. The pattern suggests that Disney has fundamentally misunderstood what made the MCU successful. It wasn't just the characters or the comic book source material, it was the specific actors who brought those characters to life, who committed years of their careers to building these roles, and who created performances that resonated with global audiences. Evans didn't just play Captain America, he was Captain America in a way that's irreplaceable. By treating these actors as replaceable, or as people who should be grateful for any opportunity to return regardless of compensation or respect, Disney is destroying the very thing that made Marvel valuable. You can't build a multi-billion-dollar franchise on the backs of talented actors and then expect those same actors to continue working for you after you've squeezed everything you can from their initial contracts while offering them less than they're worth. Disney's cost-cutting approach across Marvel, visible in reduced budgets for some projects, pressure to do more with less, attempts to lower actor salaries, reflects broader corporate financial pressures on the company. But this short-term focus on reducing costs is causing long-term damage that will cost far more than whatever Disney saves by lowballing actors. Losing Chris Evans permanently because Disney wouldn't pay him what he's worth is penny-wise and pound-foolish. Whatever Disney saved by refusing to meet his compensation requests will be dwarfed by the value Evans could have brought to future projects and by the damage done to Marvel's reputation and ability to attract and retain top talent. The fan response to reports of Evans's exit has been overwhelmingly supportive of the actor and critical of Disney. Social media is filled with comments praising Evans for standing up for his worth and condemning Disney for trying to exploit someone who gave the studio 11 years of committed work. Fans are pointing out that Disney made billions from the MCU largely because of performances like Evans's Captain America, and that the studio's refusal to adequately compensate the people who created that value is both morally wrong and strategically stupid. There's also significant anger at Disney for allowing Evans to walk away over money when the company could easily afford to pay him what he's worth. Disney's annual revenue is measured in tens of billions. The difference between what they offered Evans and what he requested is a rounding error in their corporate budget. The fact that they're letting such a valuable asset leave over what amounts to pocket change for a company their size suggests either incompetence or a corporate culture so focused on cost-cutting that it can't recognize when saving money is actually costing money. Fans are also expressing sadness that we may never see Evans's Captain America again, that potential storylines and moments that could have been special will never happen because Disney was too cheap to make them possible. The knowledge that this loss was completely preventable and resulted entirely from Disney's choices makes it even more frustrating. Chris Evans's reported "I'm done with it" exit from Marvel after Disney tried to cut his salary represents a franchise losing one of its most valuable assets through pure corporate arrogance and short-sighted penny pinching. Evans gave Marvel 11 years, helped build a multi-billion-dollar franchise, delivered one of the most iconic superhero performances in cinema history, and fulfilled every obligation with professionalism and commitment. Disney's response to this service was apparently to try paying him a fraction of his worth, while suggesting he should be grateful for the opportunity to return. Evans's decision to walk away permanently, rather than accept disrespectful treatment, is the right choice for him personally and professionally. He doesn't need Marvel. He's a successful actor with other opportunities and the financial security to be selective about projects. Marvel needs him far more than he needs them, but Disney apparently didn't understand this power dynamic until it was too late. The loss of Evans is catastrophic for Marvel's future storytelling possibilities and for their ability to retain other major talent. When Captain America himself quits because Disney treats him poorly, it validates every criticism about the studio's talent management and creates serious questions about whether other actors will follow his example. Someone at Disney needs to recognize that destroying relationships with the actors who built the MCU through cheap and disrespectful contract negotiations is killing the franchise more effectively than any box office failure could. But based on the pattern of similar exits from other actors, that recognition apparently hasn't arrived yet. Disney seems committed to learning this lesson the hard way, by driving away talent until there's nothing left of the MCU except a brand name that nobody wants to work with anymore. Chris Evans is done with Marvel. He shouldn't have to be. This exit could have been prevented with basic respect and fair compensation. But Disney chose cost-cutting over franchise preservation, and now they'll live with the consequences of losing Captain America because they were too cheap to pay him what he's worth. That's not business savvy, that's corporate dysfunction destroying value in pursuit of illusory savings. And it's exactly the kind of short-sighted decision-making that's turning the most successful franchise in film history into a cautionary tale about how not to manage talent.